let's go ahead and show the starting locations. In the red, we have our Terran player. His ID is Marineking Prime, and in the opposite starting location, in the bottom left, we have our Protoss player, none other than Huck.
Oh, a little chit-chat going on in the game between these two. Now, Cloud Kingdom is the map, and Huck actually just played on here in his Code A match against Hack, Startail Hack, and unfortunately did lose and dropped down to Code B, but in that match, Huck, he played well on this map. It was pretty close. So the thing is, I don't know that Marineking actually saw that. You know, it's been so busy. It was just a few days ago.
Yeah. I don't know. You know, I think Huck's already faced all the hard people, the hardest people, I should say. Everybody's good in this tiny tournament, but I feel like the rest of his opponents should be easier for him after Marineking.
Yeah, you know, Parting, DRG, Marineking, those are basically the top three, and those are 3 of his first 4 matches. So again, don't give up on the guy yet. He definitely still has his shots. So we'll have to see if they are going to both fast expand. I would not be surprised. It's kind of a long map, and obviously both these players very good when they have an extra base.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what Marineking is going to go for this time. Looks like so far it might be a quick command center, unless he takes the refinery here.
Now, Tasteless, if Marineking wins this, I mean, if he wins this whole thing against Huck 3-0, he's going to be in such a dominating lead of this tournament. Do you think there's any chance he won't get first place?
Anything's possible, but I mean, let's face it, he's so dominant at this point in time. It's really hard to say that he should lose this after beating so many good players. And I also have to note that he's really mixed up his style a lot.
Oh yeah, he does all sorts of
builds, and that's a sign of a good player.
Yeah,
just like MVP or.
In fact, he's kind of like a new MVP, like a super aggressive one, where it's like, well, how many builds do you really have, Marineking? You'll just do anything, won't you?
Yeah.
He's crazy, man. Don't dare him. He'll do it.
Looks like we got 1 gas here for Huck. And it does seem, judging from the minerals, that Huck is going to make a Nexus very soon here at his expansion.
Yeah, you know, this is a map that you do want to do fast expansions on. But, oh, Marineking with the offensive eBay right now. Very annoying.
Nice.
But that was the SCV that was building his racks that Huck got down to 10 hit points. And that shows you that every little thing counts in StarCraft 2, because that eBay would have a lot more health and the Nexus would be a lot later if he hadn't harassed that SCV before and gotten its health down so low.
All right, now the question is Marineking going to make additional barracks now? Does he throw up 2 gases right away? How does he play it out from here? Note that Huck's Nexus is delayed. Absolutely.
Yep.
He's getting in about 100 minerals later than he would have wanted to. And it does, like Artosis said, it does count. You know, that's going to be a chrono boost slightly later. It's going to be the probes being transferred to slightly later.
It's true. And we do see now a little bit more what's going on. Huck with that quick second gas. Marineking, his expansion's done, and he's added a couple racks and a couple gas. So very standard out of Marineking. And I want to see if he throws down a pretty quick eBay, because Marineking has a pretty specific style in this matchup that he likes to go back to a lot, even though he has a lot of builds, where he loves to get +1, a couple medevacs, stim and combat shields, and just do a really quick pressure with a lot of Marines.
Huck really optimizing that Stalker there. All those Marines are sopping up. That means when the first medevac comes out, it's going to burn all its energy on healing them and not be as useful for any kind of timing attack. I know it's small data that I'm giving there, but it's something. And, you know, as Artosis said, StarCraft is a game of very small, subtle moves that can lead to big, heavy results.
Huck right now making his choice, Tasteless. He just added a ton of gateways. Looks like he's going to go for a very quick 6-gate.
All right, and kind of MC-style attack here. He'll get a bunch of sentries, use force field to block off, you know, the area around the bunker. From there, the SCVs cannot repair. Generally, if you have an attack like this coming at you, one important thing you want to do is always have the SCVs in front of the bunker, on the side where the Protoss army would be attacking into. That way, they can block off the Zealots from hitting. If they get force field if he force fields the front of the bunker, then the Zealots don't do damage. But even then, it can still be very tough to do, especially if you look, if we can get a shot of the Terran's bunker over there. That entrance there, he might have wanted to put the bunker back slightly. It's actually a pretty tight little area, so it's not like you can get a bunch of bunkers just up there and repair them as easily as if you put them back a few hexes to the right.
Well, right now with Huck's economy not completely developed, oh, this is a great move by Marineking, pushing out and seeing that pylon. That was huge. That was absolutely great because now he's going to be ready. He knows that there's some sort of attack that want to come on, and he got the Stalker. A very nice move by Marineking. That simple move out just changed the course of Huck's attack. If he gets in there before Marineking has any idea, then he can force it off that first bunker and kill it, because when you 6-gate this quickly, you get a lot of Zealots and a lot of Sentries, not a lot of Stalkers. So if the SCVs are in front, it's very hard to bust the bunker, and Marineking can get that ready now if he wants.
Okay, this attack is still going to be pretty scary. Guardian Shield goes up, and I have to say, yeah, there's no way. Oh, that was actually not good by Huck. He actually ended up with all the Marines and Marauders behind the force fields. The Zealots not doing any damage. Now just a bunch of sentries.
Not a lot of damage output there for Huck's army, and in fact, running forward now with Stim, Marineking doing a great job forcing him back, and in fact going to kill off all these sentries. That's bad for Huck right there.
All right, he's going to get this last sentry. And I think all he has to do from there is just retreat. The Stalkers by themselves, although Stalkers can be scary, you know, they don't, they get damaged so easily, they die so quickly.
Now, you know, Marineking just has to be careful and live for like another minute. He's making medevacs. Notice he's getting more units.
He's floating the factory in the front here, so there's a chance the Stalkers will attack that when they're on attack move, instead of hitting in here with the bunker. Now, this is a lot of Zealots, actually.
Man. This is a powerful attack. Huck has to do something right now because those medevacs are going to come out.
He needs to pull SCVs like yesterday.
He's got to be very careful here, Tasteless, indeed. And it looks like that bunker probably is going to go down in just a second here. The SCV's coming out. Oh, my God.
No, he's going to save it. He's going to save it.
Oh, my God. Huge move right there. And now Huck is in a terrible spot. Dude, now we have medevacs out, we have Stim, we have combat shields,
basically,
and +1. Marineking is going to walk across the map with a force that Huck is not going to have any way to deal with.
Basically, Huck did not develop because he was, for the entire time, just focusing on getting units out of 6 gateways, chrono boosting the gateways, so he doesn't have like the kind of completeness that Marineking has at the end of the day. Marineking's going to have all the upgrades he needs. And oh my God, just
Huck right now.
Huck answering with more gateways.
So he's actually getting Blink, and he's going up to 11 gates. Off 2 base, of course, you cannot support 11 gate Stalker.
Yeah, this
or
is...
Or 9 gate, I'm sorry. I like look at these rows like it's StarCraft 1 or something. I'm like, oh, that's 10 in 1 row, right? That's the way my brain works. I'm just a silly guy with 10 fingers, man. But anyways, okay, 9 gate, that's much more reasonable. I'm like, 11 gates, Huck, really?
Oh, well, I mean, considering yesterday Huck actually, what was he had 12 gates, 3 bases, and he was going for Colossus too, which is not supportable.
Well, right now we're going to see, can he hold this? This is going to be very hard to hold with 4 medevacs. Marineking's units are going to be healed very quickly. With that +1, they're going to kill units very quickly.
Also, armor is about to finish too.
Now, with Blink though, Huck, you know, I like the transition into Blink here, because all he really has is gateway units, so he has to use them. And
he's moving in.
Blink on the way. It's almost done, and it finishes up. Now, can he kill this army off? Good micro right now by Marineking, trying to target down sentries as quickly as he can.
This really goes to show you how much more you can do with medevacs.
And can Huck actually catch these? Oh, the Blink getting down there, and if he can kill off all these medevacs, that is going to be awesome. Marineking could be in a little bit of trouble, and Huck looks like he won't end up getting all the medevacs, but does end up killing 1 and that army. Really nice micro there by Huck. Nice hold.
Oh, whoa. Meanwhile, over here, Stalker's hitting the command center, and it looks like now this counterattack, this could be bad news for Marineking. Marineking probably expecting Huck to play a more standard game.
Well, right now, Huck is looking good. Blinking on top of Marineking's units here, targeting everything down as best he can. A lot of Zealots here are going to really make the SCVs pretty worthless. And suddenly, Tasteless, Huck, in a game that it really did look like he was going to lose, fighting back and doing a great job against Marineking.
I think he might have done it.
Yeah, it does.
I think he's going to get the medevacs here, and that's all she wrote. Wow.
You know, a really cool game, Tasteless. But Marineking not ready to give up yet. He says, well, I still have medevacs. And stimming down, trying to pick off as much as he can. He does have a lot of damage output still, but not a lot of units. Can he hold this off?
I think there's just enough medevacs. These Stalkers actually can't kill anything. But now with the rest of these new Stalkers...
medevacs are funny like that.
No, I know. It's actually insane, you know, with a small army like that, how much
Oh, God, he has won upgrades as well. This is a crazy back-and-forth game, Tasteless.
It is.
Still targeting down as much as he can. He knows that if he can ever kill Huck's whole army again, his superior upgrades and medevacs should be able to carry him.
Okay, also note the medevac's energy is almost depleted.
That is right.
This can't go on forever.
No, it certainly cannot, even though it's looking like it will. Non-stop battles all game this game. Huck blinking forward, getting on top of these Marauders, trying to target them down one by one. A good choice. And a nice micro by Marineking, lifting up and dropping Marauders that are injured, and every single time just barely holding Huck off.
Well, it's going to continue onward. I actually thought Marineking was dead back there, but well, you know, this is why Marineking wins the games he does. He just has such good micro that he could survive almost endless battles.
Now with 2 sentries in here, this battle's going to be a hard one as well. But stimming, forcing him back. Huck. Oh, those force fields, not the best. Still warping in units, though. He still has maybe a slight chance as these medevacs are out of energy at this point, but Marineking's army is getting bigger and bigger, and oh my God, 2-2 is about to finish. And that's 2-2 against 0-0. Stim and medevacs against no splash. This is not going to look good, Tasteless.
Yeah, I think the problem is that even though Huck's attacking into this pretty well, the Terran army is just too strong at this point in time.
Yeah, 2-2. I mean, that's Huck's in a lot of trouble right now, Tasteless. I'm looking around, and he has no forges, no tech other than Blink. And, I mean, Marineking, the next attack he does with these 2-2 units, a bunch of medevacs, how can Huck hold off the next one? It looks like he's just going to keep going Blink Stalker, and I think that's probably his best choice right now.
Well, as Marineking is moving out, I just don't see what the options are for Huck. I mean, Huck would have to somehow catch up in upgrades, chrono boosting the forges. Meanwhile, Marineking's going to be even more ahead. By the time he had 1-1, Marineking would have ghosts.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Huck can't catch up in upgrades. He needs to do something else here. But Marineking moving across the map right now. A lot of units going up this ramp, and it's time for force fields. Some decent force fields going off, but not enough to actually hold everything back. And the micro of Marineking, very strong if you don't have perfect force fields.
He's got to be careful that those medevacs get very low on energy. The medevacs are playing a pivotal role in why this army just doesn't die. And I think, am I incorrect in saying he's just going to move through here and win this game?
You are not incorrect,
I'm not incorrect, okay.
2-2 Marine Marauder going to eat through everything. And, I mean, Huck's going to have to GG in just a moment here.
Kind of a crushing way to lose. I mean, it was so back and forth. And there it is, GG.
All right. Well,
really well played by Marineking. Really, really well played.
He's won the match, but of course we need that last game for tie-breaking reasons. I gotta say, I was very impressed that Huck actually fought back that well with that blink. He almost broke him a few times. QXC, Xev, what do you guys think about that game? It was pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah, I actually think the defense on Marineking's part was at 2 reactors was really, really nice. It was just at the perfect level. Very, very close defense. I also think there was a really interesting part when Marineking tried to counter, and I think that kind of threw it back in Huck's favor. I think we'll go over that in just a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think there's a point in time where it looked as though Marineking probably thought, oh, he's going to get a third Nexus now, or, you know, he's going to try to...
Or maybe he's teching too heavily, but right. Huck's like, nope, I'm going to make a ton of units.
QXC, your thoughts?
Yeah. What I really liked early on, Huck used that one Stalker, he pressured those Marines, and a lot of times as a one-racks expanding Terran, I feel like they're going to pressure, and I don't want to push out. Like, Marineking didn't really have a good opportunity to push out with his Marines at that point, and so it set him up really nicely for that 6 gate. He's able to get that pylon down. Huck doesn't really have, or Marineking doesn't really have the scouting information, but then that time when he pushed out with those Marines, that was so good.
Oh, God, it was. To get that pylon, I mean, if that pylon had gotten in, the game may have gone differently.
Yeah,
you know, if
definitely.
he gets right in there and starts killing bunkers right away, and his rallies are right there, and then he can micro better because he doesn't have to switch his screen even. He can just do it at the back of his screen. That would have been huge. So great move by Marineking.
Yeah. Absolutely. We're going to go and take a look at the NOS performance replay and check out, you know, one of the highlight moments in that game.
So this right here is when Marineking's counter pushing, and right we can see here is Marineking does not have a very high unit count, and Huck just puts those mass throw force fields down. He's working the blink micro. His defense is just, he's killing off these units, and the medevacs don't know what to do. They move back for a second. They're like, should we run? They move in. They get hurt. They're trying to run away with that blink, just going to run them down. And Marineking kind of is losing that advantage he got from that 2-Rax here with this great blink micro and great defense by Huck.
You know, it's kind of funny because even though he lost this battle, so, you know, the army balance-wise, it's like, oh, no, well, Huck has the lead. It was the upgrades in the end that really pulled him through with the win.
Yes, it was.
And the other thing that's pretty interesting here is because of the layout of this map, it's very hard for those stalkers to actually chase down those 3 medevacs. And you can see what a pivotal role. If Marineking doesn't have 3 medevacs in this battle, the game is actually over.
Right.
And on a lot of maps, those 3 medevacs would have died. I think if Huck had prioritized the medevacs at the end of that battle, you leave there's 2 Marauders and a Marine, just let them do some damage, maybe kill a Stalker or 2, but kill those 3 medevacs, and all of a sudden Terran army looks a lot weaker.
Yeah, I could not actually agree more with you there. I mean, this game had so many tiny things that changed the outcome. If one thing had been different here in this whole entire game, it might have changed who won.
I actually think if Huck, again, here, the medevacs are really the key. The Stalkers don't really do that good damage against that bio ball, but you don't need them to do that good damage against the bio ball. What you need is some Zealots to tank. The Stalkers don't take a lot of damage. The Marauders won't kill the Zealots that quickly. Use the Stalkers, you focus fire down those medevacs, and once the medevacs are gone, this army dies.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, QXC. You know, the fact that the medevacs went untouched for basically this entire game. When we saw Marineking ultimately counter, I mean, there was just no way. Like 7 or 8 Marines and Marauders being healed at once.
Each one has their own personal healer, pretty
Exactly.
much. Yeah. Each
Yeah.
Stalker sitting there is shooting, but you know, it's got, you know, each medevac counters a Stalker. When you get that many, there's just not much you can do.
All right, guys. Well, I think that does it for our NOS replay performance. I think Huck is in a very tough spot.
Well, this tournament's not going well for him.
No.
Hopefully he can pick up a single game win against Marineking, because right now a lot of people are tied, and it's going to be hard to actually get into those top 6 spots if you get 3-0'd too much.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. We're just going to get confirmation from the players. They are ready, and then we will get this game going. The map is going to be on Antigua Shipyard, and to be totally honest right now, I really see this as being 0-3 for Huck.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard one for him, man. But you know what? He played really well in that last game.
Yeah.
I mean, that game was very close, as we went over several times. It could have gone to him. Absolutely could have. It just, this time, it did not.
I'm surprised at how well that blink rush worked. So we're going to start the game now. But, you know, that's a simple lesson as to why upgrades are so important. They are so integral to you winning. If you're somebody in one of the lower leagues, you may have lost so many games to upgrades not knowing it. Always check your opponent's upgrades and always integrate that into any build you're going to be doing, unless you're doing